The wind of the twin moons brushed softly over the crystalline sands of Velyra 4, painting the horizon with pale blue fire. Commander Ethan Hale of the Terran Alliance had never seen a world so breathtaking, or so dangerous. His mission was simple: negotiate peace between the humans and the Velyrians, a proud warrior race with a history of meeting diplomacy with bloodshed. But that peace now balanced on the edge of a blade. Ethan adjusted the translator clipped to his uniform as he stepped into the shimmering tents of the Velyrian war camp. He could feel eyes on him, slitted, glowing, predatory. The Velyrians were tall, silver-skinned, their hair like molten starlight, their armor grown from living crystal. And among them stood one figure who drew every gaze, including his own. Commander Karenna of the Sapphire Guard. Her presence radiated dominance. Muscles rippled beneath armor that glowed faintly with her pulse. Her eyes, bright as electric amethyst, met his with a mix of suspicion and curiosity. She was the Velyrians' champion, their most honored warrior, and the one assigned to guard him. That first night, their alliance was strained at best. "You breathe too loud, human," she said as they shared a tent separated by a thin barrier of woven energy. "And you glare too much," Ethan replied, trying to maintain composure. She tilted her head, a glimmer of amusement in her eyes. A fragile species should not provoke the hand that guards them. "Maybe I like to live dangerously." Her sharp laugh filled the air, like the crack of thunder in a storm. The following morning, the camp was attacked. A splinter faction of Velyrians, those who opposed peace with humans, descended on the valley. Ethan was thrown to the ground as the air burned with plasma bolts. Karenna leapt into the chaos like a living weapon. Every movement was deadly grace, spinning, striking, deflecting with her crystalline blades. When the battle finally ended, Ethan's translator was shattered, his head ringing. The healers dragged him toward the medical chambers carved into the side of a cliff. He remembered collapsing, Karenna's voice echoing faintly, angry, protective, unyielding. He awoke hours later, the tent dimly lit by blue fireflies. Disoriented, he stumbled outside, searching for water. The sound of rushing liquid led him to a nearby spring, a clear pool beneath glowing vines. And there, unaware of his approach, was Karenna. Her armor lay neatly on the stones. The bioluminescent water shimmered across her silver skin as she washed blood from her arms. Ethan froze. He hadn't meant to intrude. He turned immediately, whispering, "Sorry. I didn't know." Too late. Her warrior instincts flared. In an instant she spun, blade drawn, her glowing eyes narrowing with lethal fury. "You saw me." "I didn't, Karenna, I swear, it was an accident." Ethan raised his hands, heart pounding. "I turned around as soon as I—" "Silence!" she hissed, stepping from the water, her markings glowing in fury. "Among my people, to see one unclothed without consent is a bond. A sacred one." Ethan blinked, horrified. "A bond?" Her gaze hardened. "You have seen me as no one else may. The old laws bind us now. You and I are promised." By morning the entire camp knew. The Velyrian elders gathered in the grand dome, their crystalline cloaks reflecting the light of the moons. The air was thick with murmurs as Ethan stood awkwardly at the center, flanked by Karenna, who glared daggers at him but said nothing. Elder Char raised his voice. "The sighting was witnessed by the spirits. The bond cannot be undone. The human and the warrior must complete the joining rite, or face exile." Ethan's throat went dry. "Exile!" Karenna's jaw clenched. "Do you think I want this, human? You're weak, flesh too soft, heart too open. And yet," she trailed off, something uncertain flickering in her eyes. Ethan swallowed hard. Then let's find a way out. There's got to be. There isn't, she said softly. The next days blurred together. Everywhere Ethan went, Velyrians bowed to him or whispered behind his back. The bonded human. Corinna meanwhile grew distant. She trained harder, fought longer, as if trying to burn away the shame. But at night when the fires dimmed they talked. About Earth. About Velyra. About the stars they both dreamed of touching. He learned she had lost her sister in the first human-Velyrian war. She learned that Ethan had once been a soldier too, and that he carried the same guilt she did. Slowly, their hostility gave way to understanding. Then, on the eve of the joining rite, Corinna found him staring at the horizon. "You fear what comes," she said quietly. Ethan nodded. "I don't want to take your freedom." She stepped closer, eyes soft. "You didn't steal it. You earned something rare." He turned. "What's that?" Her voice trembled. "My respect." The joining rite was held beneath the twin moons, their light pouring over the crystalline altar. The elders chanted in the ancient tongue as Ethan and Corinna faced one another. "Do you accept this bond of unity?" the elder intoned. Ethan hesitated only a heartbeat before answering. "Yes." Corinna's gaze burned into his. For a long moment she said nothing. Then quietly, fiercely, "I do." A pulse of light erupted between them. Their hearts synchronized for a single, blinding instant. When it faded, they stood hand in hand, the crowd silent in reverence. Later, when the ritual ended and the camp returned to celebration, Corinna leaned toward him and whispered, "Perhaps fate saw something I didn't." Ethan smiled softly. "What's that?" "That even a warrior's heart can find peace in unexpected eyes." As the twin moons of Velyra rose higher, their light wrapped them both in silver warmth, no longer human and alien but something greater, bound not by accident but by choice. The joining rite unfolded beneath the twin moons, their silver light cascading across the crystal altar. The air shimmered with ancient chants as Corinna and Ethan stood face to face, hands nearly touching. The tension between them was no longer hostility. It was something deeper, quieter, unspoken. Elder Char's voice rang out. "Do you accept the bond of unity, forged by sight, sealed by spirit?" Ethan met her gaze. "Yes," he said, his voice steady. Corinna hesitated only a moment, her eyes studying the man who had once been her enemy, the one who had seen her without armor, both literal and emotional. Then softly she said, "I do." A surge of light erupted between them, a pulse that connected heart to heart, thought to thought. Ethan felt her presence within his mind. Her memories of battle, her grief, her fierce pride. And she felt his compassion, his guilt, his unrelenting hope. When the light dimmed, the camp fell silent. The elders bowed. The bond was complete. Later, as the fires burned low and the revelry faded, Corinna approached him quietly. Her usual edge was gone. "You have changed the path of two worlds, human," she murmured. "Perhaps. You have changed mine most of all." Ethan smiled faintly. Then maybe fate knew what it was doing after all. Corinna's lips curved into a rare, genuine smile. "Do not let it go to your head." He laughed and she reached out, brushing her fingers lightly against his. It was not the touch of a warrior, but of a woman learning peace. Under the twin moons of Velyra, two hearts, once divided by species and war, beat as one. Not by accident, but by destiny.